What's up, everybody? It is about that time. It is time to talk nerdy to me and talk nerdy to you. It is time to talk about the 100th episode of The Flash.
Yes.
Holy crap! What's up, Arturo? You are first. Welcome. What's up, Jose? Welcome back. I see that. I love that. They're welcoming us back. I feel like we should be welcoming you back, but you're welcoming us. We welcome each other
We were
because
doing a movie review. That's why it took an extra minute.
we all just meet up back here in the Poindexter Lounge and have a little cup of Joe or something and just enjoy ourselves. Thank you all for joining us. I love the fact, man. You guys are like right there. You guys are on it. We already got some people watching, man. We're gonna jump right into this discussion, and we did a little favor since we knew that we were gonna do the. What's up, Jeff? Since we knew we were gonna do the Talk Nerdy to Me discussion tonight, which we always do, where we talk about all things nerd and everything throughout the whole week. What's up, TSB? Ethan? Yes, we just saw the new Captain Marvel trailer. That's what I was going to say because we hadn't seen it. And so we just took a minute here before we came on and we watched it. And
Did a review?
we did a review of it. And so we'll give you a little taste of what that's going to be like when our trailer reaction comes out tomorrow. But first, let's talk about what we're here for because we know what we're here for. And that is, it was announced today that a new Hello Kitty movie will be made. That's not why we're here. That's total crap. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Clorox. Clorox said I have a great singing voice. I'm actually a musician. I've been a musician since I was really young. I recorded my first album when I was 12. My family used to travel around the USA and sing and everything, and I've been in bands my whole life. I still am in a band called Waking Vegas. If you search out the channel, you'll find some music videos from my band called Waking Vegas. So if you see something on my channel that says Waking Vegas, that's what it is. We just released an album, actually, back in October. I still have not made it available for download yet, but coming up here pretty soon for the Christmas season, it will be available for download. So if you're interested in that, it's only $10 and you'll be able to download that. I'll have some more information for you guys on that next week if you're interested. But there's music videos here on the channel and yeah, would love to have you guys check that out. Like I said, the band's called Waking Vegas. Thank you so much, Jose. Yeah, it was definitely a labor of love. But yeah, I've been a musician, and that's actually what I do. I'm a worship pastor for a church, so that's what I do for a living. I lead worship for a pretty good-sized church here in Michigan, and in my spare time, we have a YouTube channel where we talk about all things nerd. Arturo, I am very sorry that you missed the 100th episode. We're going to talk about it, and I know a lot of people who are already here in the room, they've seen it. Holy crap.
Yeah, you might want to wear some Depends.
Oh, man.
Just throwing that out there. My heart was like palpitating for like 20 minutes after the episode was done.
Start to finish, this thing just.
Got you screaming.
Oh, yeah. I think I screamed like 3 times through this thing.
More than that.
Was it more than 3? It might have been more than 3. I try to be modest. I try to rein it in, not.
Yeah, but with things that you were saying are coming to fruition, you were just like, yeah.
See, you gotta love that when you call something and it happens and you're just like.
We all called something this episode.
Yeah.
Oh man, so good, so good, so good. So let's go around the horn first of all. Tiffany, I already know this, but what was your overall just impression of this episode?
It was awesomeness. It had everything. It had everybody in it. Nora was able to see things that happened in the past, different, people that were from the different seasons. And when they actually showed, I loved when they showed the actual accelerator and they showed like a different version of like the different people that became metas later in that season and showing different, avenues of that. But I also loved calling last week the Back to the Future song, and they ended up playing that. So I gotta give him some love for playing that song.
Gotta get back in time.
It's like, when am I gonna have a chance to play this again? So I thought that was awesome.
Gotta get back in time.
Isaac?
I agree with what you said, and that's pretty much what I was gonna say also. And I also thought it was a really good 100th episode.
Yeah. Is that it? Oh.
Pretty much,
Oh.
I was pretty much gonna say that.
Yeah, I thought it was for being a 100th episode. I also I enjoyed it as a 100th episode because what you want in a 100th episode is you want something that kind of usually it recaps kind of what's happened up to that point.
Brings
You
back
know,
things from the past, things from the future, which it did.
characters, situations, things like that. And I felt like they found a really good way to do that with this episode. One of the other things about this is, and I mentioned it while we were watching it, but it really showed how like much of a smart show The Flash is.
Yes.
You know, the writers on The Flash do a really good job balancing things. You know, because like a lot with like a lot of sci-fi or superhero properties, you know, you see sometimes the writers are just pulling stuff out of thin air.
Yeah.
You know, that like
To
doesn't
keep it
make any
going.
sense and like just making crap up. You know, and it's like it makes no logical sense whatsoever.
Yep.
I really felt like with the plan that they put together to send Barry back and collect these pieces and go to these certain
Yeah.
places at a certain time, that it made sense. You like that, Jose? Yeah. I think that they did a really good job of presenting that, where it made me
Yeah.
believe that it wasn't just like, oh, hey, we're just trying to come up with some excuse to send Barry back in time, and here's a bunch of jargon, you know, whatever. It was like, no, you have to have this to get to this to get to this.
Which ended up opening Nora to realize. I mean, Barry had to say, these are the things in my life that happened that you never would find out from the museum.
Yeah. And I love the fact, too, and I mentioned this while we were watching it live, for those of you who weren't there, I mentioned about the fact that, like, when Barry walks in and he's talking with Wells, Earth 2 Wells, and Earth 2 Wells is getting ready to, you know, get really mad. He's getting ready to break the inoculator, the injector thing, whatever, and Barry stops him and gives him the idea that they had from that season to find Jesse Quick. It's like to be able to take something like that and show where something like that came from and
Yep.
give it purpose and not make it feel like, oh, look what happened. See there, that Barry did it, but it just felt kind of natural. They didn't overdo
Wasn't
it.
pushed.
Yeah, it wasn't pushed too hard. Yeah, Arturo, man, it's the review, bro. We're gonna do spoilers, man. Sorry. Yes. What's up? It's me, Rand or Randy. Randy, yeah, I like that. I see what you're doing there. I didn't catch that for a second, but I now see it, Randy. I to you as well. Yes, Jose, we did notice that Earth 2 Wells saw the flash ring.
Yes,
Yep.
because he was holding the thing.
I'm
Yes.
looking up names that he
But I
said.
still think it was interesting to see that Nora looked like she was about to crap her pants when she was around him. Like, don't say anything, don't give me away. Was the look she
Yeah.
was giving him.
Oh, that was to the other Wells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got a lot of Wells in this.
Plethora of Wells.
Yeah.
We need to start a band.
Plethora of Wells. I like it. So I liked how they did it. Plus, it was another Barry going back in time story, but it wasn't cheesy, and it wasn't old. You know, I mean, like how many times can you send Barry back in time, right? But they did it this way in a way that was really well. But you knew from the start, as they've been hinting all season long, that Nora was working with somebody. And Nora had a purpose and a reason to get Barry to do all that.
But I thought it was also interesting to see the different angles of the seasons we've seen previously. Like when you saw
Yeah.
the Savitar, you know, when Barry fell to the ground and then, you know, our timelines, Barry is going like this, like, don't say anything. He needs to do what he's got to do so
Yeah.
that it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of times that he, you know, was telling her, you know, just don't change what's going on right now. Just
Yeah.
let it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I thought it was interesting when she went back to see his mom and dad in that timeline. And she's like, have you ever thought of just stopping what you know is going to happen? And he was like, yeah.
Yeah, little do you know, huh?
I changed the timeline because of it.
And it goes to show you how little Nora knew about her dad
Yep.
going back in time.
Yep.
Especially when Barry told Nora that Reverse Flash was the one that killed his mom.
That's why when
Yeah.
she was about to touch the suit, and he's like, do you not understand why I hate him?
Yeah.
And when she finally said it, you could see like the light went off.
Yep. What's up, Benny? Welcome.
I'm
Welcome.
listening to the name's Reverse Flash said when he was talking.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so they go back in time, and I I was glad to see that it wasn't an episode where just because they went back in time, like none of the other characters were going to play a part.
Yeah.
You know, because I was a little worried about that when they're like, oh, well, to them, it'll be like, you know, all this stuff happened, but to us, it'll be like no time passed at all. So I was like thinking, are we just not going to see them for the whole episode?
But like even when they showed like the particle accelerator, they brought back Ronnie. They brought back the doctor before they came Firestorm. It's like that's a lot of cool things of just bringing it back and Zoom and Savitar and just all of that. That was just
brought back
cool.
the emotion of Ronnie.
Yeah.
You could see with Caitlin.
Yep.
Having to deal with that all over again.
Which Nora knew nothing about.
And I thought it was interesting too because when they first went back, things were going pretty smooth. Mm-hmm. You know, things were going really smooth, and they were just collecting stuff, and it was like, hey,
oh, there's a wraith coming after us. Let's just take it this way.
Yeah,
you get the piece.
Yeah, really, and then it got interesting. It got interesting by the time that they got to their second stage, and so let's talk about the big thing. So everything was going really smooth until they tried. Well, they got the inoculator.
Zoom realized that Nora was a speedster.
Oh.
And they took off, and he followed back in time.
How cool was it to see Zoom again?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Those are my two favorite villains: is Zoom and Reverse Flash. I love it. Jose said it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yes.
It was really great to have them back.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and you know that's one of the things, right? So when you read the comics, every once in a while in the comics, these villains they recirculate, right? I mean, just like, you know, if you read Batman long enough, they're gonna bring the Joker back around. He's gonna, you know, the Joker's gonna disappear. All these characters are gonna come back around. When you do these TV shows, it's harder to do that because then the villain, if you bring them back too much, the villains don't seem as important anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The villains don't seem as threatening anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and they kind of do these. They've been doing these like whole season story arcs where, you know, this one villain has this master plan.
Like DeVoe.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, you gotta somehow finish that plan off. I love the fact that we're getting back to Reverse Flash.
Did you notice though?
And there's a plan.
When they were running through that, I guess I would call it the time tunnel, where they're, you know, where you can see the different pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were showing like King Shark. They were showing all different kinds of things,
when
and she
Bear's
was
in
kind of
jail.
looking like, "What the heck is this? This isn't in the museum either."
Yeah. I mean, there's just lots of information there that she's getting, but Zoom shows up, and then they leap. For lack of a better, like a quantum leap.
But not into someone else's body.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good seeing Garrod as well, yeah.
It was Baby Grad.
Yeah, like... Jeff, I agree with you. I miss Hunter Zolomon too. Hunter and, what's up, Thomas Dang? Doing the dang thing. Good to see you, man. Always good to see you. I love the fact that we've been doing this long enough now. We've got, like,
people that we know they're regulars.
I dig that. You guys don't know, man. That is so cool to me. But so for them to leap forward and go through the timeline, and while they're in the time tunnel,
the Wraith is chasing the three of them.
The Wraith is chasing
and decides to like football grab Zoom too soon.
Too soon. Yeah. What is that gonna do?
Because Zoom still has to race Barry, and Barry comes back.
Now does that
still has to get caught by the time race after that?
Oh my gosh! So what is that going to mean for the show? Mm-hmm. What is that going to mean for the show?
Yeah, and that also affect Legends because Zoom was on Legends.
Yeah. Zoom was on Legends with Reverse Flash.
Yeah, Zoom was on Legends as like the zombie version of him.
Yeah. He was Black Flash.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like Jose said, but the timeline has changed again. So. We don't even know what the repercussions are.
Because they're talking about, these items, if they're taken out of the timeline, it won't matter. But if you take
Thomas, once we get done with our Flash review, we'll get on Titans, because Titans a whole other
can of worms
that we got to talk about. It's not really worms. It's all good stuff.
It's awesome.
If it's only a can of worms if we were a fish, because we're digging it. But man, so this thing with Zoom and with Hunter Zolomon, man, that changes everything now. We don't know what the repercussions are of that.
If it changed the timeline, because he's got to finish out what he's doing, and we don't know if anything changed in this timeline because of Zoom being taken by the Time Wraith.
Oh man, I can't wait to see.
And now we gotta wait until till January.
What if? Oh, now here's a big what if. For anybody who's been around the channel long enough, and you know my prediction a few years ago about the man in the iron mask. What if because of that, it changed the timeline, and now instead of it being Jay Garrick from that other Earth, it ends up being the man in the iron mask. Ends up being the 90s Flash.
You're
I
going
know
back to
that
No,
that's
'cause-
too hopeful, I know. Because that was my prediction.
Well,
But
we see from Elseworlds that Flash is from Earth 90.
yes, from Earth 90.
Which
yes.
is a nice,
From
which is a
Elseworlds.
wink and a nod.
Yeah.
That it
I
is.
like that.
It's from the 1990 Flash. I like that. Okay, so we got that. So they end up there, and then Nora gives the idea. Well, why don't we go and talk to
Reverse Flash.
Eobard Thawne? I'm sure he'll help us out. You can convince him.
Yeah. He's a really smart man.
Oh
How
man.
did you know?
Because, like, they keep on saying the Flash Museum doesn't have all the information. So they're gonna.
Gotta be
Man.
in it from
I have a
somewhere.
feeling they're gonna catch her eventually.
Well, she's going.
Like,
she's going forward to 2049 to
Yeah.
talk to him.
But no, like, catching on, like. Well, they won't even know she left because, like, they were saying when they leave, they can come back at the exact moment they left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they'll
Sherlock
never
is onto
notice.
her,
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Oh Sherlock is on to
Yeah.
her.
and he looks
So,
like.
so I think he's gonna catch something. Like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
He's checking out her diary that's all written in the
And he's
hieroglyphs.
looking
trying to
like
decode it.
Abraham Lincoln with that beard and that no mustache. He just needs a taller hat.
Yeah, I might have to shave off my mustache in honor of Sherlock. Do that little thing. What do you think? 407 episodes of The Flash ago, I proposed okay, so
Take down Nora.
yeah, so they go and they talk to Eobard, which was how meta was that? To see Barry on the floor from when Barry went back before.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of vibrate right
It
into
was
the
like
room.
a
One
flashception.
One thing, like,
He was expecting them.
yeah, I didn't catch it at first, but now thinking back at it, as soon as they walked in, he didn't even look back and he says, "Well, this got complicated."
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
not even looking
'Cause he
back.
felt
he
it.
knew that. He just it was like,
Yeah,
hmm.
because he didn't even look back and know that it was
Well,
Nora and
remember
Barry.
when
He's
they
like,
went
oh,
in-
that gets complicated.
Remember when they went in there though before the accelerator or the particle accelerator exploded? He said we can't use our speed or he'll feel it.
Yep.
So maybe the fact that he went through the wall, he could feel it when they came in without even turning around.
Yeah, yeah. But man, that was a moment.
And Isaac called it a second before it happened though too. He's like he
What's
was
that?
calling her different names and he's like Dawn. No, Nora. Oh, at least one of them made it.
Oh,
What?
at least you got one kid still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Man.
I'm wondering now is, do we get Tornado Twins and Nora, or do we get, or is Nora?
That's a great
disguised?
question.
Because-
Maybe she's not Dawn.
Because what he says is Dawn. Oh no, and then she says no, Nora, and he goes, oh Nora. At least.
What
still-
was
Why
the
did
other
she-
name?
Why did she keep giving up all that information?
There was
too?
another
Yeah.
name too, though.
J-
What was the other name?
He said 3 names before he
Before-
said Dawn.
Yeah.
He said Jessica Chambers,
Yes.
which in the comics that's Jesse Quick,
Okay. Yep. Yep.
and then he says. He
He
says
said
Danica.
word.
He says Danica Williams. Which
Who's Danica Williams?
she's in
Is she the race car driver? No kidding.
That's Danica Patrick.
I'm joking.
her.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's Danica Williams. She's the Flash from 2040.
Okay. That's a great
And-
reference.
Yeah, and then the other name.
2040 when she's going back to 2049.
Yeah, and then he said something. It was something Lawrence. I'm guessing Abby Lawrence. And whenever I look it up, some stuff shows for Swamp Thing. It's not a specific person. It's something Lawrence. I know that.
Okay, so let's stop here, pause here. Jeff says, I'm so puzzled as to why Reverse Flash Thawne still uses Dr. Wells' body. He's like the ultimate troll of the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
This better be his last season because I'm so sick of that annoying speedster. Aw, come on, Jeff. I love Reverse Flash, man.
Me
It's
too.
all right if you don't like him, but I love Libby Lawrence.
Libby Lawrence.
Libby
Okay.
Lawrence.
Oh,
That's what it was. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know something.
You looking it
Maybe
up?
by Lawrence.
Yeah.
Libby
So I love Reverse Flash, and I've been wanting Reverse Flash back because I mean, we haven't had him on the Flash. He's
His
been,
nemesis.
yeah. I mean,
Lawrence. Oh, that's Liberty Bell.
oh, is it? Okay,
Hmm.
okay,
Yeah, it's Liberty Bell.
okay. That makes sense.
When you look up Libby Lawrence.
Nice.
All right, cool. Yeah, some of these is like kind of smaller, obscure characters that I'm not as familiar with. But I'm excited thinking about that, and I'm glad that they brought back Thawne as Wells.
Yes.
That they established, and I think it's because of that everything that transpired there in the room with Gideon. That because of that, because they came back to see him, he figures out a way to get home, which changes the entire
Because he
timeline.
keeps asking questions. Oh, you did this.
Yep.
Oh, you fought. Oh, you got a piece of this from Savitar.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then realized.
Or maybe he doesn't get ahead far enough because in season 1 he said he's 100 years from the future, like 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, that's right, because, yeah.
and Nora's only 30 years from the future.
Yeah.
So maybe he went to the future, but not maybe far enough, and he needs Nora's help to get even further.
Or he gets captured, and he's just
Oh, yeah.
imprisoned for that long until he tries to figure out a
And
way
he's
to
having
get
her
out.
help him get out.
Yeah.
You know, that makes actually more sense. Is that he would be captured instead of being totally eliminated.
So put that hate into Nora to make her go back to help him.
So Eric, yeah, Eric. Well, let's. Okay, so Eric, we'll get to your question in just a second. I just want to make sure that I'm hitting everything else here. Jose says they showed the next promo, Elseworld. You won't believe who is in the crossover once more. There's another crossover. Well, I know
They've
that.
been showing the same trailer all week.
Yeah, they've been showing the same one all week. They showed it on Supergirl, they showed it on Arrow, and then tonight they showed it on The Flash. If you mean John Wesley Shipp's version of the 1990 Flash, but stay tuned for that because I got a theory about somebody who might appear in the crossover event. So stay tuned for that because he's in that scene. His body is
And
in
his
that
suit.
scene. His in the suit. So we're gonna talk about that as soon as we finish up this episode. But this episode was so huge that it's like we gotta cover this stuff. Okay, Thomas Dang says he said to Jose, I can't wait for this crossover. It's gonna be exciting. Jose says word.
Yeah.
Word.
And Libby Lawrence said,
Yeah.
look up Libby.
All right. So Jeff says, I think Nora is their daughter from an alternate reality. She will end up being erased by the end of the season, which will give birth to the twins. I think so too.
That makes more sense.
It'll be one of those gut wrenching
Bittersweet.
moments. You know that she's got.
Because now that she knows the
She's
truth
gonna
about
finally,
Reverse Flash.
and she's gonna reconcile with Iris, and everything's gonna be hunky dory, and then all of a sudden you don't exist.
Because she knows too much about the
maybe-
future and too much about the past.
Yep.
Actually, she knows too much about the past to be able to just go back with that information, right?
Or watch them bring back Reverse Flash with him killing her
Well, see, I
in
think
front of them.
she's gonna probably sacrifice herself
Yeah.
because she was the one who created this mess by coming
messed
back
it up.
for the Reverse Flash and back for Thawne and doing his work because now
Yeah.
obviously she doesn't want to do it anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Knowing the truth about him.
Knowing the truth about him. So I feel that probably by the end of the season she will sacrifice herself, eliminating herself from the timeline somehow, and
Barry and Iris will always remember her, but then it'll make it bittersweet when they have their other kids.
Yeah, when they have Dawn and Dawn.
and it'll be one of those gut wrenching moments like season 1 where we saw Barry
And his mom.
and his mom.
Well, both of them are named Nora.
Or even Savitar with Iris when we thought that Iris was not.
Yeah.
Before we realized
so
it was
that's my prediction,
Wells.
and so I agree with you about that, Jeff. That I think that she's going to have to do that, which will then in turn give reason for the twins. Eduardo says Barry has kids in the future. Yes, the Tornado Twins. And now, Eric, can y'all explain the last scene, please, with Nora talking to Reverse Flash? So obviously, with Barry disappearing, as we know, during the crisis that's alluded to, he's been gone for all of Nora's life.
Yeah, because I think it's 2024 is it said, or 2029?
Yeah.
2024.
2024 is when he's supposed to disappear.
Yeah. So.
And then-
And 2049 is what she's going back to.
Yeah. So my feeling is at this point that because they've gone back, the timeline has changed. Reverse Flash did not go out of existence like he did before
Yeah, in season 1.
in season 1.
With Eddie.
Yeah, and so he probably got captured, and he's been in jail this whole time because he's in jail in that episode. He didn't.
The
He never
yellow
got back.
jumpsuit?
Yep.
Yeah.
He never
Yeah,
got back to his time.
Yeah, because he's in the Meadow Wing of Iron Heights.
Yep. So he never got back to his own time, and now he's devised some kind of plan to get free once more because he's the Reverse Flash and he wants to get free, and so he has manipulated Nora. You know.
Probably all you had to do was put a bug in her ear, like, your dad's never around anyway, and all you know
Yep.
is from a museum, and why don't you just help me
kind of like how the nurses.
You don't have
Well,
to
she
attach
probably
it.
sought him out because she doesn't know much about her dad, and just learning what she could from the museum. She probably sought him out, and in doing so, he was able to manipulate her, convince her that she should go back in time, try to do this and that,
Get to
know him, do whatever, and yeah. So I think that's probably where it's going to go, and then obviously he sent her back. Because that's what it's been alluded to all season long, is
She's
that
not a Terminator.
somebody sent her back to do the things she did. She didn't just decide to come back and see her dad. Somebody sent her back, and she's obviously reporting to him.
Yeah.
So there's some other connection there.
Well, she came back, and he had her come back to help Barry with that satellite during the Enlightenment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she came back at a specific time.
Yeah. And that obviously something had to do with it. And I liked what I think Jeff mentioned it. If I'm wrong, let me know if it was somebody other than Jeff. But talked about the fact that might have been Jose actually talked about how she touched the Flash suit. We didn't see it, but she
Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash suit. I'm sorry, touched the Reverse Flash suit. Could she have done something to it?
Yeah.
That maybe is going to protect. Yeah, it was Jose. That's why I just realized that maybe she did something that's going to protect Reverse Flash from just disappearing. But that she did something thinking that she was doing the right thing.
Yeah, and then since Barry told her after that, she can't just be like, oh yeah, let me take that back.
Yeah.
After Barry said that.
Yeah. So, and then that last scene is her just simply deciding that she doesn't want to do it anymore. She learned the truth. She learned the truth that Reverse Flash killed her grandmother and her grandpa. Right?
No.
No, it's Zoom. I'm sorry,
Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But killed her grandmother. That obviously it's Flash's number one nemesis, and like what reason Barry hates him so much. That it's not just because he's just any other
not because it's
any other villain. So I hope that answers your question. But that's kind of where we're.
Because when she goes back, when she goes ahead, she says we need to talk, and then he turns around and says, yes, we do.
Yes, we do. So he knows now that the jig is up. He's gonna have to answer for some stuff. Eric says, I knew Nora had some ish with her. Yeah. Danny, what's up, Danny Avila? Death by 1,000 cuts. Reverse Flash. Justice League. Hell to pay. Yes. I'm guessing those are stories. I just haven't read those. Death by 1,000 cuts. I'm intrigued. I haven't read that yet. So if that's a storyline, let us know what happens in that storyline. No, it's a different promo trailer. Elseworld. Danny says, which Earth is this Reverse Flash? Which Earth is this Reverse Flash from? Yeah. I think it's this. I think it's the original Reverse Flash. I don't think that it's a different Reverse Flash.
Maybe they're saving the Earth X one for another time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Because to see too soon, like foreshadow it last season, then bring it back the next season. I think maybe wait a few seasons before bringing back the Earth X one.
Yeah. I think it's definitely this.
The Earth one.
This original Earth one Reverse Flash. I don't think that
he's originally from the future.
Yeah. So Eric says, so when she was about to touch the Reverse Flash suit, she already knew who he was? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Iris never told Nora that Reverse Flash killed his grandmother, her grandma. The story would have been different if only Iris told her the complete history. Yep. Flash over DC Legends all day. Absolutely, Eric. I don't mind Legends, but Flash is just such a great show. Yeah, Nora called Barry an old man. So let's go. So then they fight Cicada.
Yep.
They get all the stuff. They get back. They fight Cicada.
Who sounds like Batman?
They do a smart thing. They do a smart thing and then a stupid thing.
I don't remember.
So the smart thing they do is they go and they get the piece, they get it fixed, and everything. But there's that nod. There's that nod from Reverse Flash to Nora to say, "Hi, how you doing?"
Yeah, looks back at the camera in the corner. And
I'll see you in 2049.
Yeah, man, I lost my mind. Jose says it's true. He does sound like Batman.
He does. He's like, it makes me heal. Oh, we found out when the particle accelerator exploded, when he was on that stretcher, and then they saw Barry, who just got hurt during the accelerator.
Yeah, it looked like he looked over like, okay, did it work?
It was you could see the little burning on his tennis shoes. Like, okay, it worked.
Yep.
And then the nurse that was behind him
Yes!
is the same nurse that's helping Cicada right now.
So who is the nurse?
Yeah.
Who is the nurse?
Because she's not just feeding the Cicada now. It looks like she's been working for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe with all the metas that have been coming
Is
through?
she working with Reverse Flash?
Because it means at least 5 or 6 years she's been a nurse now. Then.
Yeah.
If she was there the night of the particle accelerator. Because they said the particle accelerator, that was 2016. I mean, no, not 2016, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it'd be 14, 15. It'd be about 5 years.
I just thought that was interesting because she...
At least.
Yeah, so she's been
around, and what's up with that?
the nurse is an upcoming villain. Just called the nurse.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Hit you with a bedpan.
yeah, maybe she is feeding the Cicada because if she's been working there in Central City, she's maybe seen all the accidents because of Metahumans.
Yeah. So
Maybe she got to give you a shot of Manajikako.
And now that she has the opportunity to do that with Cicada, maybe.
yeah, and she's been egging him on. So obviously there's
saw
some
that last
connection
week.
there.
Maybe because she's been seeing all the metas come in, or like what happened to them, that she started all that anger in them.
Yeah.
It's been building over the years.
I'm looking forward to seeing what role she plays on there. But they made the mistake. So they put that put the thing in the wall there, and then when they got it out, it was working just fine.
Yeah.
But then
Cisco.
until
tried
Cisco
it.
puts it into space.
Yeah. It's like you said during the commercial. It's like they should have put it in like another Earth or dimension or something.
Something I don't understand.
Something that he couldn't have easily just pulled it back to.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that was just because they needed to.
Not defeat Cicada yet.
I like Eric. Eric just said, "What's next for Nora heel turn?"
I thought it was awesome though too.
I'm just imagining NWO music starts to play, and Nora's like, "For life." Go ahead.
I thought it was awesome though too that when they were sitting there fighting them, and then when he got that back, and then all of a sudden all the other guys are like, "Oh crap!" Like Barry's looking at him, and then all of a sudden Killer Frost comes out and pushes him against the car, and he takes off.
Yeah,
because
he feels like, oh crap, and then
because we realized she doesn't have meta power. She was born that way.
It's not dark matter that she has.
So she's the one that could possibly defeat him because he can't just take her powers away.
Yeah.
So it scared him.
That was a great scene.
Yeah.
That was a great scene when she showed up like that.
No, what did she call him? Cricket.
Oh yeah, Cricket something. Was it Cricket Face or?
Yeah, because they made fun of her afterwards, and she's like, "What? It just came out."
Oh my gosh.
I just feel fine.
Yeah, we can pull it up on the we can pull it up on the TV.
Isaac's gonna find it right now.
You can find it. Okay.
You got it.
Yeah, so it was kind of a dumb thing that Cisco did, just throwing it in space, because if he can call it from various places, why couldn't he call it from space?
Still not as bad as Sharknado though.
Not as bad as Sharknado. Was that Stabbed in the Head? I like the name.
That makes me think.
As Jose said, I said throw it into the sun, Cisco. Do something. But yeah, I mean, Dawn Allen, it seems like
Cricket Freak.
Cricket Freak.
Cricket Freak. That's
It
right.
looks like though Stabbed in the Head. I'm just gonna love saying that screen name, Stabbed in the Head. So Stabbed in the Head. It looks like Dawn may not exist
Stabbed
yet.
in the head.
Yeah.
The acronym is Sith. Sorry.
That's why I love this woman.
Sorry.
Now, see, Stabbed in the Head. Did you even ever think about that? Did you
Bonus.
intentionally? did you even intentionally think about that when you came up with the screen name Stabbed in the Head? Did you ever think that the acronym for that is Sith? That's awesome. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you.
It's the little things that amuse me. I'm sorry.
Wow, that is so awesome. Okay, so So,
Side note.
that's great. So I don't think that the Tornado Twins are in existence yet. Is my theory is that because of all these changes is that Nora exists right now,
Yeah.
but why by her sacrificing herself or doing whatever, it's going to change
The timeline.
the timeline. Thomas, I promise you, we're getting there. we're almost done with this.
Talk about Titans.
Yeah, he wants to talk Titans. He's talking about Donna Troy, so we're almost there.
I'll watch episode 2 while you guys are talking about it.
Okay. I
not
I
far
see.
behind
I
at
see
all.
an interesting theory coming up here. Okay, so they get there. Cicada takes off. Right. They go through the whole thing, and man, what an episode! What an episode! I hardly know what to think after watching that episode. I mean, there were so many good things about that episode. The writing was good. The characters were good.
The callbacks.
The callbacks, the new things that we learned and found out and got to see old things. I mean, just to see Zoom.
New things from the old episodes, the different angles, different
Yeah.
things that we weren't seeing the first time.
Like a different point of view.
Yeah.
Like Nora peeking around the corner, listening to Nora and
Oh my gosh.
Iris and Barry.
Because
The reintroduction of Reverse Flash.
In one timeline, she saw Iris shoot the bad Barry that was in Savitar.
Yes.
And then she saw him in another timeline trying to build him up and say, you can't, you got your power taken away. Don't let this take you down. You're still you. You're still strong. And she was just kind of like seeing the different parts of her parents, like what they've been through together.
Yeah. And again, Sherlock is
I love
on
him.
to her, is on to Nora heavy. And I think that's going to come out.
And he keeps calling her a clever girl.
Yeah. Okay, so here's an interesting take that Danny just said, and I'm guessing this is about the nurse. So I think she is Amanda Waller.
I thought that the
we've-
first time I saw her too.
We've already seen Amanda Waller.
Have we already seen it
Have
in
we?
the Arrowverse on Arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was the head of Argus, and then not Damien Dark, or no, maybe it was Damien Dark, killed her.
Okay.
So now Diggle's wife is now the head of Argus instead of Amanda Waller, because Amanda Waller is now dead.
Well, maybe she's not dead.
Maybe we think
She didn't look
is.
like that.
Yeah.
Maybe she got a face.
I know, just because she's a black woman doesn't mean that she's Amanda Waller. She could be anybody. Okay, so let's see here. On a scale of 1 to 10, okay, so we're almost there. I give this 100%. What do you think about the Elseworlds? Okay, remember Barry changing the timeline. So we got all this stuff happening. We saw the preview then
I
for
give it 11.
They have a lot to do for Elseworlds.
Tiffany. What you give this episode 11?
Yes.
What
it was
did you?
tasty.
Okay, what did you think?
What?
1 through 5.
1 through 5. I'd say an easy 5.
There's no question.
Yeah.
This was almost one of those perfect episodes,
Yes.
which just continues the streak this season. This season has been mind blowing. How good this season
And we sat here
has
before
been.
this started thinking, okay, with the DeVoe thing, how are they going to do anything better?
Yeah, well, because the DeVoe season was just
Meh.
meh.
Yeah,
But
that
they've
season-
actually used the DeVoe season to make this
I mean,
season
they
great.
showed when the particle accelerated, they showed him getting his power, and it's
Yep.
like, that was
They
cool
showed him get
too.
his power. They showed Dr. Stein holding
Yep.
Yeah.
from season 1. We saw Ronnie.
Such great stuff. Such great stuff. So yeah, this is easily one of those like
Tasty episodes.
Jose, you don't like the season? I really? Jeff says I haven't seen it and I'm giving it a perfect score.
Good
I love it. This season, the writing has been so good this season. The characters.
I was honestly waiting for this season to be like season 4. Is like it's gonna be one of those seasons where when you watch it all at once, it's good, but week to week it seems.
So Jose, are you trolling me or because
Serial.
it seems like you really like this episode? Because I'd be interested in hearing your reasons why you think this season is bad. Because so far, this season, the writing has been really well, and the fact that every character has been well fleshed out. I mean, the only thing that I haven't liked about this season so far is the fact that Joe's not been around, but they can't do anything about that because
he's
the
got a
actor,
physical issue.
the actor who plays Joe
we
has
see
been
Cecile in
out
this episode either.
with back problems. What's that?
Cecile wasn't in this one either.
No, Cecile was not in this one either.
They made mention of them,
Yeah.
but they didn't show them.
But the introduction
At
of
least
the
yeah, we got
introduction of
Tiffany.
Nora and the mystery behind her and how they've generally kind of
Not like drawn out all season.
how they've just kind of let something out. Every week we've learned something. It wasn't like the DeVoe season where we went these long stretches of time where it's like nothing happened and everything was super telegraphed in that. Like
Well,
we
even-
all knew by the time we got partway through the season that DeVoe's wife was going to betray him. We could all feel that.
But it's also, it was interesting, like even like you said, we're learning new things. I mean, just in the beginning of this episode, you saw that Cicada's niece that we thought, oh, maybe her parents died like in a car crash or something. No,
Well,
they were murdered.
By
So now
metahumans.
he's by metahumans, so that's why he's so angry and is taking it out on
Which
them.
metahumans murdered her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so, and that's the thing is they've given us a villain in Cicada where obviously he's a villain, but
But
you
yeah.
can relate to it and you feel bad for him because
I
there's
said
this
that
little
last
girl
week.
involved.
Yeah, I said that last week. Is when it gets to be the final fight between them, that we're
Who
not
are we
gonna
gonna be
want.
rooting for?
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a side, Cicada or Barry.
But this really is a flashception because we've got a bad guy within we've got the Cicada as the bad guy, but now from 2049
We're building
we
up to
have
Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash that's manipulating this time.
And then in the
So-
second half of
So
the
that's
season,
two different bad guys of two different
and then-
things going on.
And then on top of that, the second half of the season, we're getting a younger version of the Rogues.
Yeah.
Because the director said that at the beginning, not beginning, but before at the Comic-Con panel, he said
Yeah.
that we're gonna get a younger version of the Rogues this season.
Yeah.
So,
So,
they've got a lot more cans to
And
open.
King Shark versus Grodd.
do you think that maybe Cicada by the end of it ends up not being bad?
Because
Possibly.
he was taking it out because he was afraid of
Yeah.
because
And
he
maybe
finally got
helping
close to
them?
his niece
What
One
what
thing-
if Reverse Flash ends up being the main bad guy by the end of the main
and
villain
he has to help
Yeah.
them.
and he ends up helping them?
And then in turn they help with his niece.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when Logan said this last week to me, is he said maybe the daggers maybe like fueling his anger,
Fueling it.
and yeah,
Because you see that thing pulse when he gets
Yeah.
mad.
yeah, and that's what he made is it glows when he's angry.
That's true.
Yeah.
Go Logan.
So maybe it's connected to it emotionally.
Okay.
Well, that was what brought it back. Remember when he's like, like brought it back to Earth.
Yeah. So Jeff, I know so everybody's not going to be pleased by the same thing, but I want to give Jose a fair chance because hey, here in the Poindexter Lounge, we respect everybody's opinion. If you don't think so, watch our review tomorrow of Captain Marvel 2 trailer, Captain Marvel trailer number 2,
We do
because
not believe the same things.
we don't agree on that trailer, and it gets a little awkward. Jose says, I'm not trolling, but they treat everyone but Iris and Nora as unimportant. Also, Cicada's writing when he's fighting is awful and so cheesy.
I can agree with the Cicada fights because pretty much powers are taken. He basically
Yeah.
beats them up and then like flies away with the dagger.
like this.
And
Yeah.
talks
And then flies away with the dagger.
Yeah, I mean that all his fights, yes, have kind of been the same so
Well,
far.
they went back in time for it to hit a wall, take it away, throw it in space, and he still got it back. So what?
But
the
I
heck?
don't
Then
know
get hit
though.
by Killer Frost and then run
Yeah,
away again.
could have done that in the first place.
But you know what, Jose, I don't agree with you about everybody else being unimportant because so far this year Caitlyn has been very important. They've
With her dad.
definitely
They
Killer
reopened.
Frost.
with her dad.
They rehashed all
Bring
that.
it back.
and
Killer Frost.
opening that was actually one of my things when I first started talking about the writing.
Killer
was
Frost becoming good.
Killer Frost, them figuring out a
Caring
way to
about her
bring her
family.
out.
Sherlock and Dibney finding out like the mysteries for this season.
Yeah, they haven't given Dibney a lot to do,
Yeah.
But, it's been
it-
good that
it's-
what he has.
Yeah.
but he had a whole episode where he kind of led the charge.
Yeah, and he's helping Sherlock with the
Sherlock.
things that he's doing.
Yeah.
Baby giraffe.
And then I mean, Joe hasn't had anything to do, but again, that's because the guy who plays Joe has been out. He had to take a
Medical leave.
sabbatical because of his health. He has back problems, and he just has not been able to shoot the show. So that's understandable there. Why we really haven't gotten any progression with Joe. But I mean, even Cisco, there was the whole episode
Losing
around
his powers and then
him
having
losing
his
his
power, helping Caitlyn, and
Yeah.
putting his own health at risk to help her.
Yeah. So I mean, yes, a large part of the season has been built around Nora and her, first not relating with her mom and then relating with her mom and stuff. And I mean, every season we get emo
conflict.
Barry, you know, where Barry is just, you know, that's one thing about the TV show Flash that we don't get that's in the comic book Flash and in other iterations of the Flash, and that is that comical part of Barry. This Barry is not that Barry at all. And I think it's one of the things, like when people saw Justice League, people who don't understand that about the Flash and don't read the comic, because I've seen lots of people complain about Flash being so comical in the Justice League movie, but that's how the Flash usually is.
But he needs to feed his snack hole.
So yeah, so you know, I'll meet you halfway on that. But I don't think that, I just personally don't think that the writing has been bad for every character, just because it seems like every character has been showcased at some point, and has gotten their fair shake. I mean, we're only, what is this, 8 episodes in?
Yep.
9 episodes in?
Well, Elseworlds is gonna be 9.
Okay, yeah, so we're only 8 episodes
Ninth
in.
episode on the 9th.
Yes, I mean, we're not even halfway through the season yet, and everybody has already had their own episodes, and I feel that, you know,
Little tasty nerd list.
yeah, there are open stories right now with, it seems like, everybody, right? There's
Sherlock trying to solve Nora's
Nora.
mystery.
Yep, with Dibney, you got Killer Frost
With her powers
angle,
and her dad.
right? You got the Killer Frost angle. We just saw a resolution kind of the Cisco thing with him being, you know, supposedly, you know, being killed. Cicada thinking he was dead and he's not dead. But
Sherlock poking at him about breaking up with Gypsy.
yeah, I mean the whole gypsy thing, right? So they teased that, so maybe we'll get more. What's up, Royal? Good to see you. Welcome to the lounge. Okay, could it be Nora? From what I heard, Cicada's mighty superpowers will be seen by episode 11 or 12. We haven't seen much of it yet.
Yeah, 'cause we've
It's
seen
too
it
early to
later.
conclude. Yeah. I mean, we're not even halfway through. The ending was amazing, but awful. Like, I want to see more. Yes, Fibs. I agree. We want to see more too. Elaine says, I took my son to the park, and when we got home, we found his goldfish dead, which is a hard situation for any first-time parent. How do you explain? Okay, Elaine. Thanks for that. All right. I think that one of the craziest things that happened this episode is when Zoom was chasing the Flash and Nora. Yes, that was Jaden. I totally agree with you. That was just great. What do you? And then I think we'll end the review with this because we've already scored it and everything.
Yeah.
Jaden asked a question, and then we're going to talk about Titans for
Your theory
Thomas
for-
Dang, and my theory for Elseworlds, and that is, what do you all think is the craziest part of this amazing episode?
The craziest part?
Yeah, his was, he talked about Zoom and Nora and the Flash all running in the time wraith and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I'd say either that or just all the nods to Reverse Flash knowing about Nora.
Yeah.
Until we saw that at the end.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting just to watch that fight between Eobard and Barry when they were in that room, because he was just like wanting to break that thing, and he's like, if you don't do this, you don't go back.
Yeah.
And he
Yes, I
realized-
will!
And he realized
So
that-
intense.
Yeah.
So intense. Yes, I will. No, you don't. Yes, I will. Man, I gotta say my top 5 moments were them running in the running through time. The moment that Nora and Barry walk into the room.
And the look on her face, like,
Yeah, the end, which was crazy. With Nora talking with him.
in 2049.
Yeah, in 2049. The moment Zoom showed up was crazy. And if I had to pick one more to kind of round out for 5, I don't know, what else would you say? It's a crazy moment.
When Dibney played back in time.
There you go. When Disney played Back in Time. So there you go. So let's talk nerdy. Let's talk nerd. So,
I'll start episode 2. Well,
all right. So here's my thoughts. So at the end of this, we get the stinger trailer again for the Elseworlds crossover featuring John Wesley Shipp as the 1990s Flash.
Yep.
in that, and if you haven't heard my theory on this yet, here on the channel earlier today, I did a video about who I think may play a part in this. So last week, Isaac,
Yeah. I read
Stephen
something.
Amell,
Yeah, he made a statement about the crowd about Elseworlds.
to talk about what he said.
He said basically what he said is we're not going to see I can't think of his name right now. Tom Welling and
Michael
Michael
Rosenbaum.
Rosenbaum. We're not going to see them.
Yeah.
But there's still going to be something in the crossover for the Smallville fans that are basically going to make them pee their pants.
Yeah.
He said.
So
And does that mean good or bad?
yeah, so I've been thinking about that a lot, and then when I saw this this trailer featuring John Wesley Shipp as the Flash, so there's something interesting there, and that is there's all these dead bodies, or seemingly dead bodies of superheroes laying all over the place. You have Hawkman, Hawkwoman, you got Stargirl, who was on Smallville. Hawkwoman and Hawkman were also on Smallville.
She was also on Legends.
Yeah, she was on Legends too.
And also Jesse Quick.
You saw Jesse Quick.
2 versions of the Green Arrow.
Arrow.
Well, okay, so we're gonna get to that in a second. But then also, oh, who else was it?
The Ray, his helmet.
The Ray. Yep. But here's the thing: we saw the Smallville version of Green Arrow, which leads me to believe that if Stephen Amell is releasing statements about how basically you're gonna pee your pants.
Yeah. And he said he wasn't a huge Smallville fan, but he was still really excited for this.
What would Steve Amell be excited about? Well, maybe he'd be excited if
Dueling Green Arrows.
you had dueling Green Arrows or Green Arrows fighting together on the same team. How cool would it be to see Justin
Smallville
Hartley
Arrow, yeah.
come back as the Green Arrow
Dude,
for this crossover event?
Yeah.
We know that the Kent farm from Smallville, from the TV show Smallville, appears in this episode or in one of these episodes.
Yeah, for the
crossover. How cool would that be? That would just blow. I think that would blow our minds as Smallville fans if we don't get to see Michael Rosenbaum and we don't get to see Tom Welling. Man, and we're definitely not going to see Chloe.
Yeah.
So give us some Green Arrow action, and I think that'd be so cool to see both of them. I like that statement that was just made there. We'll talk about that in a second. But to see both of them in one episode together, 2 Green Arrows. And see, here's the thing. The reason why I never really got really heavy into Green Arrow when it first came out was because I was such a fan of
Hartley, and we didn't want to see anyone else replace him.
I never understood why they didn't spin off that Green Arrow. And like, if you're going to spin off Green Arrow, why would you make a completely different Green Arrow from the one that we've just been watching for the last few years? But they did.
7.
7 now.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the when Smallville was done. We had been seeing that Green Arrow for probably about
10 years.
4 years at that point, I think it was. And I just didn't understand why, if they were going to do a Green Arrow show anyways, it would have seemed to have made more sense to spin off Justin Hartley's character, but they didn't. And so at first it was kind of a silent protest. It's just like, I'm just not going to watch it. But then I ended up watching it, a little bit here and there. I haven't watched it religiously, but you just finished all 7 seasons, right, Isaac?
Yeah, I've
Before
caught up.
the crossover.
I watched last night's episode today.
Yeah,
And I'm
so
completely
what?
caught up.
So you're completely caught up. What do you think now of the overall story on Green Arrow?
You can tell that they waited to do what they're doing in season 7 for this late in the series, is because season 1 that's the Dark Archer or Malcolm Merlin, and then season 2 that's Deathstroke, season 3 that's Ra's al Ghul for the villain.
Not Raish.
Well, that's what they call them, but
I know, I'm
not gonna
joking.
call them
Raish.
No.
Yeah, and then season 5.
It's like a band
Oh, it's
mash.
season 3 was that. Season 4 was Damien Dark. Season
Raish.
5. Season 5 was Prometheus, and I really liked that one.
Nice.
For me, it seemed like season 3 it started to slow down a little bit. And season 4 it started to slow down more. And then season 5 it started to pick back up again. And season 6 it did do more. But so far, I would say my favorite season for those series would probably be either season 2 or season 7.
Okay.
Because season 7, he goes back to like all of his memories with him fighting Slade and him having memories from the island.
Okay.
Oh
And-
wow.
Yeah, and then what else was there? Basically, the prison basically changes him and opens up his eyes a little bit more. And then what else was there? One thing I was telling you earlier while I was watching the episode is I like how Arrow doesn't like finish the conflict in like the first episode from the previous season.
Mm-hmm.
Like Oliver didn't get out of jail in the first episode. It
Yeah.
was like episode last night was 8, so episode 7 he got out.
Okay.
But I was telling you, if there wasn't the crossover this early in the season, I feel like he'd still be in the jail.
Gotcha. So they've taken their time with it.
Yeah.
Taking their time.
So maybe that explains a lot more why he's a lot more confused because
Yeah.
if he's just got out
But
of
I
jail
feel-
and now all of a sudden
Yeah,
everything's
I
twisted.
feel like they saved the jail for now is because they've been trying to catch him since the beginning of the series. They've been trying to prove that Oliver is the Green Arrow or the Hood, as they called him in season 1.
Yeah.
And then now they finally like got him at the end of season 6. As you can tell, you can see in season 7 just the physical and mental like part of the jail that's been wearing down on him.
It looked like it.
Yeah, you could tell physically it was wearing down on him. Because every week he kept on getting like more cuts and more bruises on his face.
Yeah.
And then one thing it's not a huge thing for the series, but I don't like how he shaved his beard once he got out of jail.
Why is that?
He looked a lot better with like the bigger beard.
Okay.
And,
Really?
Yeah, he looked more like the comic book Green Arrow.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Yes, I'd have to say so far season 7's my
7.
favorite.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the whole series. It seems like the whole series builds up to season 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Everybody seems to like your analysis of Arrow.
Your take.
We just got a couple of great. Jose says that his favorite is 2 and 7 as well.
Yeah, Slade Wilson was definitely my favorite season because in season 2 we also saw he knew Slade.
Thank you, Jaden. Yes, he does know. Yeah, he does pretty good.
Yeah, he was with Slade when he was on the island for a year. So we saw in season 2 we kind of.
Thanks, Jeff.
Another reason I think we'll see like like what I'm saying for Cicadas, maybe we'll have to pick a side.
Yeah.
I felt like in season 2 we kind of had to pick a side with Slade and Oliver.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
that's one reason I really liked season 2.
And if it worked good with Arrow, then it should work good with the Flash if
Yeah.
they try it.
Because
Because they call them Team Arrow
Yeah.
and Team Flash, which is
Well,
kind
they
of
were
funny
the
too.
two. They were the two teams that started everything, right? Thomas Dang, are you still around, buddy? Are you still around? Because it is time to talk a little bit of Titans before we go home. Let's see. While I'm waiting for Thomas
Were they
Dang.
saying that Isaac
What's up,
Hayes-
Styles? We love the Flash too. So glad to have you here. Jaden says your boy is smart. Arrow is amazing. Well said. Somebody else said. Jose said excellent information about Arrow.
You can see he has.
Honestly,
a bigger,
Jose knows what he's talking
Oh,
about.
he does look good
he has a
there.
bigger beard,
Oh yeah, he does look good.
and then he has the shorter hair.
Nice.
Thomas Dang is still here. All right. Jose says Titans, please, cause crazy, right?
I'm gonna watch
Okay.
episode 2 while you guys
So-
talk about it.
Oh yeah, cause Isaac
was
has
spending
not
all
watched Titans. He's
Because
been
Isaac's been spending all his time watching Arrow, he hasn't been able to. So now he's on episode 2 of
Yes.
Titans, and he can't wait to catch up.
I always feel like we're putting him in like the soundproof room, like we're on Family Feud or something, and he's got to like go in there,
Before you do
elevator
that,
music.
Now that I think about it, I think that last night's episode was the season, like a mid-season episode,
Okay.
like before, before the.
So you
crossover.
caught up to have a break for a month.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna watch Titans.
Because it ended with while he was in jail, there's this
Then-
other Green Arrows, what they're calling it, is what they're calling them, is this is other Green Arrows going around basically stopping the crime. Like kind of what Oliver was doing before
Well,
he
then
got locked
7
up.
episodes of Titans should be nothing to
Yeah,
you if you
nothing.
just watch 7
He's only got
seasons.
he's only got 6.
Yeah.
So
Wait, and
Oh.
what we found out is that it wasn't a guy like Central City, Star City thinks it is. Is we find out it's a female.
Oh.
And what we found at the end of the episode is we see her. She's talking to this grave, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll complete your mission. I'll finish what you wanted." Basically, is what she said.
is
And
she
then
a Sith?
And it turns, and it like slowly turns around and shows the front of the gravestone, and it says, I can't think of his name right now, but it's Oliver's dad.
Oh.
So what we find, so I'm guessing is that's maybe he's gonna have to stop his half sister,
Ooh.
Robert Queen.
Robert Queen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Because you're on the spot.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so put your Jose says it's Oliver's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Titans.
Yeah.
Man, that's another great show right now.
That's up there with Flash right now for me.
Oh my gosh,
And I love the music when it starts. Dun, 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 dun.
It just gets you revved up, man.
Listening
So,
to that right now.
are you listening to it right now? Nice, nice. He's listening to that music right now. So, I'll be honest with you. When we first started watching Titans, I didn't know what to think of Titans
to
because,
expect.
what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to like it as well. There were just there's some
They
controversies
started off
about
with
it.
the crazy stuff with Raven too.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't know if I was gonna like it as much, and oh my gosh, has it just
Yes.
blown my mind? And I've just loved. I mean, we've gotten so many great moments so far on Titans. Who would ever thought we'd see live action Jason Todd?
And
Oh.
you still want to punch him in the throat.
Yeah, I mean because that's who Jason Todd should
I
be.
know, but I wanted to do it through
J-
the TV.
Jason Todd should always be somebody you want to punch in the throat or watch, get beaten with a crowbar. And see, that's the wonderful thing about that is you can imagine him being beaten the crap out of with a crowbar.
I call him R2D bag.
R2D bag. Yes, Thomas Dang, Red Hood, man. I tell you what, you can see that, right?
Yes.
Oh, I know, Jose. The fights with both of them, with both of the Robins.
Oh yes. Brutal.
It's been a
And
great
bloody.
thing. But so this week we got the Donna Troy
Yes.
episode.
That was very
Tiffany,
cool.
what did you think of that?
I thought that was very cool because at first she's trying to play it off with him like you got to learn how to do this without your powers. You got to learn how to do this,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the next thing you know she's jumping over a truck and then
Yeah.
she's doing her art thing and he's trying to like be normal with these people and then come to find out she's doing this side thing and she's still not giving it up. So I thought it was just kind of cool to see just like the different layers of both their stories and how they've been friends for so long, and I thought that was cool too.
I find it interesting that Dick is the reluctant leader.
Yes.
That he
Doesn't want to, but he's put in that position and situation sometimes.
yeah, that
Or
he is,
someone's got to do it, so he does.
yeah, and he doesn't want to form a team. Like he's still trying to say, "Oh, we were never a team. We were never
He's
a
the
group."
anti-leader.
And they're like, "Yeah, we were. Yeah, we did."
Well, that's why Raven, whenever he leaves, she's like, jerk.
Yeah, exactly. So Raven's mom. So this is why, and so I'm going to get kind of personal. I do think, Jose, that we are going to see him in the Nightwing suit. I think that it will probably wait until the end of the season, before we see him in the Nightwing suit, or that will be the kind of the cliffhanger or the
Did his
teaser.
other suit get exploded?
Yeah, he burned it down. What's up, Red Comet Man? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. This is a place for nerds. So this is a place for you and a place for me. And we just love to do just what we're doing right now. We are talking. Every week we watch The Flash first with everybody. So we do a live Flash watching. and then we call it our Flash Mob. And so we watch Flash, and then we come back and we do a review, because we used to do reviews, and then our subs told us that they wanted to watch it with us, so we started doing that. And so and now we do kind of a review of it. We do a breakdown, and then we do this little segment that we like to call Talk Nerdy to Me, and that's what we're talking about right now. Right now we're talking about Titans. So so I'm going to share something a little personal
About Raven's mom?
about Raven's mom, and so here's the deal. I was raised by my grandmother, okay? My grandma raised me and my two sisters because my mom had problems with drugs and alcohol, and growing up, my grandmother always wanted to see me be able to live with my mom one day. And she used to tell me growing up, I want you to go back and live with your mom. And not because she wanted to get rid of me, because she loved me like I was her own. She wanted me to have that. She wanted me to have that relationship.
Opportunity.
But I got to a certain point where I realized that that wasn't going to be the best environment for me. That by the time I hit 13, I realized that I wasn't going to have that kind of relationship with my mom. I loved her, but it was what it was. And my grandmother was more like my mom.
She still is.
And she still is to this day. I mean, I love her. My mother passed a couple of years ago of cancer, and my sisters took it extremely hard. And
They had a different generation.
they had a different relationship with my mom than I did. I'm the oldest, so I was kind of there for a lot of the stuff that
The good and the bad.
the good and the bad. So I remember the good times, and then I remember where it got really bad. And
They don't.
yeah, and so the thing is that with watching, and it's okay, guys. I don't tell you that to make you feel sorry for me because, but I do appreciate you guys, your comments there, because I had a great childhood, and I mean, my grandmother raised me, like I said, and my sisters, and we had a great childhood, and I was very loved and taken care of. My grandma was both mom and dad to me, and and the good part of that story is like I was raised without my dad as well, but like connected with my dad in my late 20s, and now I have a great relationship with my dad, and I have a brother and two sisters from that side of the family that now I am part of. And
But if grandma didn't raise you, you wouldn't be who you are now.
exactly, and my three boys, they're all they all have relationships with my dad, and it's great. I played catch with my dad for the very first time in my life when I was 35 years old.
When we got married.
Yep, and so.
It's never too late.
Yeah, it's never too late, and just because you're faced with circumstances when you're a kid or whatever doesn't mean that that's the end, right? You decide and you dictate what happens in your life and what kind of person you're going to be. And just because you've had bad things happen to you, that doesn't mean that you have to make those same mistakes or that you have to stay in that situation. When I was a kid, not having my dad in my life and not having really any really good male role models until I was a little older, for a lot of people, it either makes them make those same mistakes or it changes them. And that's what it did to me. It changed me to the point where I wanted to be the best dad that I could possibly be, and I wanted to be the best husband that I could possibly be. And that's really important to me, and that's why we include the kids in our endeavors and what we do here on the YouTube channel and stuff like that, because I love having my family around me, and I love
nerds.
and I'm raising nerds, man. I want them to experience all the things that I didn't experience. And that's why we take them to the movies and Comic-Con and do stuff like that with them, because I want them to know that it's okay to be different, and it's okay to have things like that you love in your life. I collect toys, and I'm a grown man, and and they know that. And Isaac once asked, at what age would he have to stop getting toys for his birthday or whatever, and it's like, Tiffany told him, well, your stepdad gets them at 39 years old, so I think you're going to be okay.
I think we're good here.
I think you're good.
So
but I say all that.
I was going to say, were you telling a story about?
Yeah. So I say all that
Raven's
because
mom?
watching Raven's mom, I found it interesting that they were really quick to just turn her over
Yeah.
to her mom, who has obviously been through a horrible situation. And
It was a
it's a
mental
fiction. It's a fictional situation, but that really kind of hit me, because I'm sitting here watching this, and you got this ragtag group of people anyways, and it shows like the character of Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne, and just like really how kind of messed up things are for them.
Donna Troy mentioned that. She's like, when I went and was the mascara, they built me up. They showed me how to do good things. Batman took the anger and the hatred and everything and tried to build you that way.
Yeah.
And then two different types of people they became.
Because to think that it was a good idea to let her just go off with her mom, just because it's her mom.
Yeah. I mean, better than her dad, but.
Yeah, yeah, really. But that was really kind of concerning to me, and it threw up some red flags to me, just like decision making. That's, I don't want to say that it's bad writing, because I don't think that it's bad writing. I think that it's something that happens, right? Is that people make bad choices sometimes when it comes to that stuff. And I think Dick, being that reluctant hero, being that reluctant leader, is not wanting to stand up and kind of take that role. Even though you can tell she kind of looks at him in that kind of like male role model, father figure kind of thing, but
they all look to him and Starfire as kind of like the parents. They made that as they said that in the episode. Is it weird? Is it like their mom and dad to us?
Yeah, exactly. So, so just watching her go off with her mom like that was a little weird for me, because I remember being 13.
Too close to home.
Yeah, I remember being 13 and just kind of knowing.
That's not how real life works.
And just knowing that wasn't going to be my reality.
Yeah.
As much as I loved my mom and I would have loved for that to be, by the time I hit 13, I just was like, okay, that's just not going to be my life.
I freaked out at the end of that episode.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened?
Which part?
When they went to the safe house, or not the safe house, but it was Raven's mom's house that she was supposed to have when she was done.
Yeah.
And she said, I can't remember who I am. And she's like, let me remind you who you are. And then all of a sudden, bam, 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 all those things she's been having. And she went like this, and her eyes turned green, and the episode ended. Like, okay, wait a minute. She remembers.
Yeah, so that's a whole other can of worms because I don't think anybody's safe right now in that house.
No.
Starfire gets her memories back, and Starfire was hunting down Raven.
And maybe she purposely forgot so she wouldn't do that.
So what's going to happen there?
Selective amnesia.
What's going to happen there? And what happened?
Dick's too far away to come back and save the day.
I know. So what happened to make Starfire forget all that stuff is the question.
Maybe she purposely, because she knew, maybe finding out about her, she's a girl, she lost her mom, this and the. Maybe it was one of those things that she's like, well, if I can just find a way to, take these memories away, I won't do something bad.
Yeah.
I'd rather not know than do what I'm supposed to do.
We got some comments here along the way here. Thomas says, I got my Lego Nightwing figure last week. Nice. But hey, Red Comment Man, I just want to say welcome to the channel. So glad to have you here. Hit that subscribe button. Not just because we want to force you to hit the subscribe button, but we'd love to have you here, all right?
When we do fun stuff.
Yep. And so let's see. Thomas says the actress who plays Raven's mom also plays the babysitter in the remake of Amity Horror with Ryan Reynolds. Just to let you guys know. That's it. That's ironic, Thomas, that you mentioned that because we almost watched that movie this week.
Yeah.
We had it up on our TV.
We were thinking of scary movies, and we thought,
Yeah, we almost watched it. So now
we watched the trailer, and we're just like,
yeah, like I can't remember what we
Now
ended up
we
watching
need to.
instead, but we ended up watching something else. So, this is Thomas. I was thinking that as well, man, because I looked at her face. It was crazy. Yeah.
she's walking both sides of Psycho Street.
Yeah.
She
So
was in an asylum for a reason.
So, but Donna Troy talking with Dick, saying that basically, who's he going to become? We know who he's going to become.
Yeah.
But how is he going to get there? And how is he going to decide that? And my question too is how is Nightwing different from Robin? Because he's talking about how like he had to get rid of Robin because Robin was all of his anger and was all of his
cynical, just angry Batman stuff.
Yeah. And so how is Nightwing different than that? Is it like the same Nightwing works alone?
Is he talking in deep voice too?
But yeah, thank you, Jose. Yeah, it's like are they saying that Nightwing is a character that's different in the fact that Nightwing has kind of learned how to deal with those issues? That like he kind of becomes reborn. I get that part of it. Like maybe he becomes reborn as Nightwing, and so it's a different character. It's a more mature character, and maybe he's learned to deal with it, and he's able to to move on. What's up, Elvaro? Oh, it says message retracted. Well, what's up? Glad to have you here. So if that's what they're saying, that's cool. I dig that. If not, though, I don't know. I mean, if he just comes back still angry and kill. Oh, Alvaro, hi. I'm from Spain.
Welcome.
What's up? Welcome from Spain. It is so good to hear from all of our viewers all over the world. We are from Michigan in the United States, and we are glad to have you here. So glad to have all of you guys here every week. So I'm interested to see what they do with Nightwing.
Yes.
And how Dick is different as Nightwing as opposed to being Robin.
Yeah.
And who out there wants more Jason Todd?
Yeah. I hate him, but I like him, but I hate him. It's a vicious circle of suck.
I think since we're not going to probably get Batman
Yeah.
on this, I think that it's a great way to ground him, to keep Dick Grayson attached to Batman
Yeah.
by having those two, to be able to get messages to Dick from Bruce through him. Yeah, Jose says me, more Jason Todd. Yes, I love how that character. So, and somebody brought up, I can't remember who right now. What a great little connection though to Justice League.
Yeah.
So we know in this world a lot of these things exist. I love
Yeah.
they dropped like names of like the Joker and was it Penguin?
Yeah, because remember he's like, I wonder what Penguin's doing right now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I thought that was what I couldn't remember if it was that or if it was another show that we were watching that he said, I wonder what Penguin's doing right now. Yeah, so that was really cool. Yeah, I thought that was you, Jose. You got a lot of good stuff this week. You guys all, man, you guys all have great input, and that's why we're here. Because you guys are really on top of that stuff. And I think it's cool because we can have a conversation where one of us forgets something, another one can chime right in and have the answer. That's awesome. So yeah, that was cool that they allude to the bigger DC universe within Titans, which means really at any point anything could happen.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to get Batman on the series. Maybe eventually. I would love to see Batman show up eventually. But, we're not going to get it yet. So, but Titans is a great show. If you have not watched it, I encourage you to watch it. Although, if you get the DC universe and you have a smart TV like me...
Make sure it's a super smart TV.
Apparently it can't be a Vizio because my Vizio does not want to work. It's so frustrating because I can pull it up. I can turn my TV on with my app. I can control the volume on my TV, everything, but it just will not play the things. We had to go out and get a Roku to get it to work. And
Because we keep stealing Isaac's Apple TV.
Yeah, so it is frustrating, but
we just got new Elseworlds photos.
But I love the okay. Breaking news. While we're here, we got new Elseworlds photos. What do we got? Yep. What do we got here? What's that?
Bane's mask.
Bane's mask from Elseworlds?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
We gotta go that way.
So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this was a photo.
Put it close and put your hand behind.
Hold on. It's a photo. That's Bane's mask from the Elseworlds episode. So that's cool. Yeah. Is that Ruby Rose?
I think so.
Is that Ruby Rose, who plays Batwoman? That's not her.
No.
She's got blonde hair. She's got long blonde
Other
hair.
way.
Oh.
You gotta click on it.
Sorry. Okay. Oh, what am I doing here? There we go. Okay, we also got Ruby Rose as Batwoman. She looks great. I did everything about that. Everything about her as Batwoman just looks amazing. The costume looks awesome.
See one with Barry helping up Oliver.
Yeah, Barry's helping Oliver there in the background. Their roles are reversed.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Okay, so check this out. What a great shot is that?
The three of them in front of the bat symbol.
Yeah, the three of them in front. You got Supergirl, you got Steve Amell as the Flash, and then Grant Gustin as Arrow in front of the bat signal. That is awesome. GCPD here.
Gotham City Police Department.
Gotham City Police Department with Barry and Oliver there. That's awesome. Of course, this one we've seen a few times.
With them flipped.
Yeah, with them flipped
It
there.
looks funny seeing them in the different costumes.
It does. It does. We've seen this one already with the three of them. They look really great.
I think that might be two more.
Yeah. So we got that one.
Barry with Oliver suit on. Is that Caitlin?
No.
Yeah, it's Caitlin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Caitlin.
That's funny.
Oh
That's a
man.
cool one.
Oh, that's
and then,
nice.
And then, How sweet is that?
Grant Gustin and Oliver's.
Grant Gustin, and
Next
I
to
just
them.
wish that Grant Gustin was in the Flash outfit. I hope that we get that visual.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them. But so
Yeah.
that's what we got this week, folks. 90s Flash, man, it's awesome. I'm so glad that this is happening. What a great time to be a what a great time to be a DC fan, a fan of the Flash. It's just great.
It is.
It is really great. Well, I think that's probably about all we got for this week. But thank you so much, guys, for spending some time with us here on a Tuesday night. Tuesday is Flash Day, and next week we're going to have a lot to talk about. We are going to, hopefully, unless something happens on one of those nights, Sunday night, Monday night, or Tuesday night, I don't foresee anything happening, but we should be here watching the Elseworlds crossover event live with you guys, all right? So tune in for that. Have you guys watched the post scene of Elseworlds and the Flash? Yes. Yes, we talked about that at the beginning. Amazing, and that goes back into my theory that I mentioned earlier, Thomas. If you didn't hear it, that I think that it's a good possibility that the Smallville Green Arrow will be a part of this crossover, and I could see it happening. I could see them getting Justin Hartland back to do it. What's that? Hartley. I'm sorry, Hartley. To do it, and because he is one of the bodies in that scene that is laying there is that Flash. And actually, there's some talk. I did see a rumor that yeah, we all love Smallville, man. But talk that might actually be the Smallville universe.
Yes, that's true.
In that trailer. So. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us once again and watching The Flash tonight, and then, of course, being a part of Talk Nerdy to Me. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your support. We love all of you. Thanks for being around. We're almost 5,000 subscribers. Tell somebody about the channel. Go hit us up on social media, on Facebook at Poindexter Lounge. So simply Poindexter Lounge. Also on Twitter, Poindexter Lounge, just with no E in the middle, so just an X. You can hit me up at Enosh Fett, Enosh Fett. Of course, Tiffany's on Twitter as well.
At Grand Tiff Tarkin.
That's right.
And Isaac?
Is Isaac R6292.
Yep. So hit us up there, and Tiffany's also on Instagram.
At Grand Tiff Tarkin as well.
Grand Tiff Tarkin.
Mine's the same also.
Yeah, and so yes, Jeff, you're right. Our family is growing, and yes, we're multinational. Absolutely, we love people.
Awesome.
We love all of our family from all over the world.
Worldly nerds.
Yes, and so we appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, Jose, thank you for being here and for having a great evening with us. Thanks for spending the time with us.
Every week.
We love you guys so much. We will see you Sunday night, and also look this week for new videos. All right. I think that's about it.
It is.
Keep running, and the next time we see each other,
Hopefully
we'll be watching the Elseworlds.
Hopefully I'll be caught up on Titans.
He needs to be running.
Oh, it's going to be good. Can't wait. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Have a great night. Bye-bye.